Hey folks, welcome back. Hope you're all well. Okay, tonight we're going to do a lure pattern just for a bit of a change because we've done a few buzzers and covered a few buzzers recently. I've been requested to do a pattern called a Black Mamba, which is a black and green zonker pattern. I'm not going to do that. It's been well covered by other tyres out there at the moment. We're not going to try and reinvent the wheel, but what I am going to share with you is a very good, very successful little black and green zonker pattern that I've been using for years. It's this fella here. I haven't given it any fancy names. It's just a black and green zonker. So I hope you enjoy it. Anyway, this is how it's tied. So hook and the vise is a B175 size 8. Thread we're going to be using is a UTC 140. Just starting with that, just behind the eye there. Now the key to all zonker patterns really is weight in the head, okay, because this is an ideal sink and draw pattern. So you want the weight in the head of the fly. And for this, I'm going to be starting off with chain bead eyes. I'm just going to get them started in there at the top of just behind the eye. Figure of 8 all the way around, just to secure those in like that. Lovely. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of additional weight to this as well, because I really want this to pull under. It's quite a heavily dressed fly, so I want it to go under quite quickly. So with a little bit of lead wire there, I'm just going to come in behind the head. I'm going to put half a dozen wraps in there. Not overdo it, but just put half a dozen wraps in. Just like that, just to give it a little bit extra weight in there. That's all it's going to need. I'm going to bring it up and down with a thread as well to secure that in, and then just come up and down it with a thread just to make sure it's nice and secure, like so. Okay, tail for this, I'm going to put a little green tag on for a tail. Not really going to use much sparkle or anything in this pattern because it doesn't need it. I've never found it need it. So we're just coming in here with some very bright green thread there. I hope the camera picks this up. It's struggling to pick this bright green up, but I'll do my best for you. Anyhow, I'm going to take some of that thread, take a nice long piece of the thread off, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to fold it in two, and I'm going to fold it again, and then I'm going to fold it again. You can see where this is going, and then just one more time, fold it over again. Lovely, like that. So you end up with this little bunch of nice bright green thread floss, and then I'm just going to catch that in at the back here as a tail. I'm going to trim this off as a tag. Trim this off somewhere out there is going to do. Excellent. And then just with my dubbing brush, just going to come in there and scratch it all out. That's just going to make a nice tail. This particular one isn't glow bright, but the glow bright works exactly the same way. So I can get that green colour for you now. Bit of a contrast for you. I suppose it is as close to glow bright. Again, it's another thread that I've had lying about for years. So this is the key to, obviously, to zonker patterns is your rabbit strip, and this is a dyed black rabbit strip. Okay. This is really what gives it its movement, gives it its name. So I'm just going to offer it up to the hook, and I'm going to want that to come over as a tail. Not a million miles, but I want a bit of an overhang at the back here. So yeah, something around about there should do it. So I've just parted that. Yeah, that looks about right for me. So I've just parted that, and that's where I'm going to be tying that in. So just going to moisten it and split it, part it, and that gives me a very, very definite tying in point then. So just like that. Lovely. Come on, there we are. Right, so come up with a tying thread and then just bang, here we go. Just one catch. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And over we go. Lovely. Okay, this really is where your movement comes from. So body for this pattern is 15mm, again chartreuse green straggle fritz. Nice long fritz, but it's not particularly bulky. Okay, that's why I like using this stuff for lures. It's not particularly bulky, it's fairly sparse, so you can put plenty of it on without bulking the hook out. So I'm just going to catch that in down here and then work the thread all the way back up to just behind the eye. Alright, it's just going to sit there behind the eye. In fact, what I'm going to do, there we go, and then I'm going to come up with this in nice tight turns. If you're enjoying these videos, please click like and click subscribe. You'll get notified of these as they come out. Just going to come up here, nice touching turns all the way up, just drawing it back with my fingers as I go. You can just wet your fingers just to help draw that back. The idea is not to add bulk with this, this just really adds movement. It's a cracking little pattern, this. So I had it in my box for, well, years. Black and green zonker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it up, and I'm not going to quite finish at the eye there. I'm going to finish a couple of wraps. Again, just wet your fingers and pull that back. Just going to give it a couple of wraps back from the eye and just secure. Just put a couple of turns over it just to secure it. Lovely. Yep, just like that. That's perfect. Okay. Now here I'm also going to add another little bit of movement, another little trigger point for you in these little plastic legs. There's a little bit of, and this is these are silly legs. These are basically, they're just a flexi material. These particular ones are barred, and this is again green chartreuse. I've just taken a piece of them off, and I'm going to pop them in. Just take it under and around the thread, so it's roughly midpoint there. Okay, catch it in, and then just part them so they come one side and then the other. So they come one side, they come this side. I just want them to be one on each side. Lovely, that's this one done, and that's that one done, and that's all there is to it. Bring the thread back up again. Okay, and then another wrap or two with this 15mm just to finish that. I reckon we'll get 2 in there. 1, 2, lovely. Just finishes that off in there, and just secure with your thread. Couple of wraps of your thread, and then you can trim the rest of this 15mm off. So this is really is, these zonker patterns are great sink and draw patterns. I love using them. You can use them on sinking lines, chuck them out, the big plop in the water, and then just roly-poly them back on sinking lines. We've been using them for years and years and years. Alternatively, great on a floating line, chuck it out, let it drop. This is weight, and the extra weight in the head draws the fly down. It's all the movement that's happening with the flies that's going down through the water. And these fish will often take it either on that drop, or when you make your first long 3-foot pull, bang, they'll nail it. Just sink and draw, just tons of movement in these flies. So I'm coming back over the top with this rabbit strip, and I'm just going to finish that off between the eyes. I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra there, as you can see, just behind the eyes there, like that. And I'm just going to get a wrap in there behind those eyes. Lovely. Yeah, that's perfect. Excellent. Nice and secure. And get into the front of the hook, just in front of the eyes. I'll stop this stuff from catching on my fingers. Come on. That's it. Just get behind it. And then we're going to be able to trim this off. Just behind the eye. Lovely. Couple more wraps. If you're wondering why I'm doing it with my fingers, because my bobbin's just run out. And I've just about got enough left on there to finish this fly with. So there's a couple of figure of 8 wraps in there. Nice. And then we're just going to finish off at the front of the eye. We won't finish until I'll talk about getting every inch worth out of it. Put it tight. Lovely. Done. In there. And finish off just behind the eye. These two legs, and pull them out, and I want to finish these just back here, not quite at the tail of the fly, just a little bit this side of the tail of the fly. That's looking lovely. And then we're going to varnish this, just give it a little drop of varnish under there, a little drop of varnish on the head. You end up with a lovely fly. Once it's all varnished up and brushed out, just like that. Loads of movement about it, loads of fuss about it. That lovely black and green winter colour that we love so much. There's not a rainbow or a brown or any other species of trout that swims that's going to ignore that fly. Lovely zonker pattern that is. Good fun to tie. Nice big winter lure. Thanks for watching, guys and girls, and I hope you enjoyed that. And any requests, just put them down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Have a good evening.